What's up, guys? Bang, bang. Lunch money time. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here with Polina. She's got a sailor outfit on. All good. What's going on with China? It's Friday, by the way. Oh, sponsor. That's right. BlockFi. Don't forget, BlockFi is the sponsor. Get money, get paid. 3 products. You put in crypto, they give you a US dollar loan. You can buy and sell crypto on their crypto exchange. And my favorite product, the one I use, is the interest-bearing account. You put in money, either crypto or dollars, and they pay you up to 8.6% APY. Your bank pays you nothing, basically. They pay you like 0.05%. BlockFi will pay 8.6% in an interest-bearing account. Go click on the link in the description so we get credit and tell them that we sent you. What's going on with China?
Okay, so Twitter is deleting more than 170,000 accounts tied to Chinese propaganda efforts. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm laughing. My brothers are sitting over here on the other side of the table and they're videoing me because they think they're funny. But keep going. What's going on with China?
So it's deleting accounts tied to Chinese propaganda efforts. How do they know how to target these accounts?
Well, they basically figure out through what is the IP address, what's the similarities between it, right? There's all kinds of different ways that they can identify it. They probably don't let people know what the actual criteria is of how they're finding out these accounts, because they don't want the patterns to then be changed, right? So the more that they can figure out the patterns and use them to identify these accounts and get rid of them, the better. And what I think is pretty cool is they actually released all of the information. They were super transparent about it. Like, here's like 150,000 accounts that we found that are linked to nation states and basically propaganda. We're getting rid of them. Here's all the information. Like, if you want to investigate this, knock yourself out.
Are they going to do the same for the United States? Where do you draw the line?
Well, I think part of it is in the U.S., there's definitely troll accounts or bot accounts.
Okay, so you call them troll accounts, not propaganda accounts.
Well, of course, propaganda and marketing are the same thing. It's just whether you agree with it or not, right? Propaganda is just marketing you don't agree with. In terms of in the U.S., though, I think the whole thing really is what they are doing is they are spreading geopolitical news favorable to the Communist Party. And so Twitter obviously stand both in the United States and outside, right? So they started to label tweets in the US. They're going against anybody who is promoting communist information. And so we'll see what happens there. But they're not the only one who's going after China.
Yeah, they're not. So Zoom closed the account of a US-based Chinese activist to comply with local law. But that's not going after China. That's kind of complying with it.
I got to call complete bullshit on Zoom on this one. I'm a big fan. I use the product, but what essentially happened is the Chinese government is sending the names of users to Zoom and saying, shut down this account, shut down this account. And what Zoom did over the last couple of days is there's 4 separate accounts where people were holding events to celebrate Tiananmen Square. And they shut down the meetings in the middle of the recording.
Hold on. They're not celebrating the event. They were commemorating. There's a difference.
Same thing.
No,
and in terms of in the middle of the meeting, they shut it down and then they banned the user that started it. They've since reinstated 3 of the users because they're outside of China. So 1 was in Hong Kong, 2 were in the United States. But what they're now saying is like, oh, we're going to build technology so that we can ban people or prevent them from participating in Zooms based on their geography. So if the Chinese government comes to us and says, hey, shut down this account, they're based in China, they will comply. If it says, hey, shut down this account or this meeting, but it's being held by somebody outside of China, they will not comply.
So, okay, so how come Zoom, it's a US-based company. What the hell are its ties to China?
Maybe it's US-based.
It is US-based.
Maybe.
Reportedly.
How do you know?
That's what it says.
There's a lot of companies that are believed to be based in the United States, but are also rumored to be controlled by China.
Do we think that kind of this scrutiny of Zoom is also going to translate and bleed into other companies like TikTok?
Well, TikTok's already under fire. In my perspective, by the way, just so I'm clear, I don't think that China controls Zoom or the CCP controls Zoom, but I do think that this is complete bullshit that they're not taking a stand and telling the Chinese government that we're not going to censor people. That's what they're doing. They're literally censoring people based on content, and they are really just cozying up to the Chinese government. They're saying, sure, send us whatever you want and we'll censor people. I don't think that they should do that. TikTok, as far as we know, is not doing that. The concerns around TikTok is not censorship.
It's the
more
data collection.
Yeah, and surveillance and things like that, which might not be better. But I do think that we've seen companies in the past, like Facebook, who said we're not going to comply. They haven't been allowed in China. You see things like Google. There is rumors that Google has allowed for censorship, right? And even some proof to it. And so it just comes down to like, where do you stand as a company? Are you going to put profits and the financial performance ahead of what you stand for from a political standpoint? Some people choose to do that way. I just don't agree with it.
Yep.
Fair?
Yeah, fair. Facebook.
Fuck communism.
So we were talking about this last night.
That's why your dad and I get along. Fuck communism.
Okay. Kids watch this show.
Oh yeah, kids show. Sorry. Facebook venture team.
So do you remember when the other night when I was saying how basically nobody uses Facebook anymore and kind of our generation uses TikTok, but maybe Instagram, but the teenagers use TikTok. And I was asking you if there's like a world where Facebook could buy TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, probably not. But Facebook has been hiring seasoned tech investors to help lead a new multi-million-dollar investment fund, so a new venture arm within Facebook, to invest in social apps before they become big. So basically, they don't want to miss out on the next TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, look, every team's been doing this for a long. Like Google Ventures has been around forever, right? So Facebook's actually late to the game here. Interesting is they went and they got Shabi Rizvi, who used to be at Google Ventures. I've met him before. Incredibly smart guy who's going to help them manage this fund. They also have a couple of people that they're hiring full time. It sounds like. I just think that this whole game is very well understood by most social media companies and technology companies. You invest early and then you get to see everything and kind of get an inside track. That's not going to help you with something like TikTok, which you just missed.
And also it's part of a different company.
Yeah. But it could help you in the future.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're doing it for a financial return?
Facebook?
Yeah. Or do you think it's just for the market intelligence, competitive analysis?
Yeah, I think it's for market intelligence, and probably because when you invest, you're kind of like, I might buy you in the future.
Do we think it's over? Do we think it's over or under $50 million? I
think it's right around 50.
I think it's under.
Really?
Yeah. They're not saying, but the reason why I think it's under is my guess is that they want to do super early seed investing.
Okay, but hold on. So, I mean, Facebook has the kind of capital to just buy startups, right?
Yeah.
So why are they just now creating a venture fund?
Well, the whole idea is basically, I don't want to spend all the money to buy you, right? So let's say that a company's raising their seed round at a $12 to $15 million valuation, right? They're raising $3 million, $12 million pre, $15 million post. I can spend $15 million and buy you. I might even have to pay a premium to actually get you to sell me the company because you as the founder think it's going to be worth more in the future. So rather than buy you and spend, $20 million, I can just give you $500,000. Now I have information rights to your company. I get to see how it goes. And if it turns out to be something super big, I'll buy you for $50 million.
Right.
But I basically hedge and get an option on the future.
But to flip it, as a startup founder of a hot new social media app, would you want Facebook as an investor in your company?
That's what that's going to be the big debate. Some people are going to see that as a huge advantage and huge stamp of validation. Others are going to say, I don't want Facebook to get my data and see my information. But that's been going on forever, right? Like Google Ventures, how many people want Google venture money? Actually, a lot of people, right? There's some who say they don't, but
GV is pretty separate from Google.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay.
You don't think that they share information?
No.
Okay. Says Google Ventures.
No, they changed it to GV because they didn't want it associated like
that's that. Like me saying my name's Anthony Pompliano. Wait, I changed it to AP. Come on, my name's still Anthony Pompliano.
Okay.
Right? Huh?
See?
Oh, we got my brother right here who said Facebook and Instagram. He said they're supposed to be apart, but they're not apart. That's Vinny Numbers over there. He's just got his little spreadsheets out. He's rocking and rolling.
I think you broke the internet. Okay.
American Airlines, baby.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, so we lost the internet here for a second.
Second quarter revenue.
Down 90%. I mean, that's
which is an improvement.
What do you mean? Improvement from what?
Second quarter revenue for American Airlines is rumored. They're projecting it's going to be down 90% which is up from where it was before. They were down more than 90% originally thought. And so, look, they lost 90% because no one got on a plane because the government literally said, hey, all you peasants got to go sit inside or you're going to get arrested.
Okay, wait a second. How is it saying that it expects to cut its cash burn rate to about 0 by the end of 2020?
Well, okay, so this is important. So basically, they were a profitable company, meaning that they made more money every day than they spent. Then the pandemic hit and the government literally forced everyone to go sit at home, like, just cattle, and just made everyone listen to whatever the government says. And so when that happened, obviously no one was booking to fly on planes. So now they were spending more money than they were making. So they had a negative net cash burn every day.
Yeah.
Right now, it's rumored that in June, they are going to, through very, very tough measures, get to a negative $40 million cash burn. So they're going to lose $40 million a day by the end of June. That's an improvement from how much they were losing before. And that's going to continue to improve. So it'll go from 40 to 35 to 30 to 10 million. And eventually by the end of the year, they'll get back to break even where they'll be making just as much money in a day as they're spending.
And let me tell you, I got intel that American Airlines is not doing social distancing with nobody sitting in a middle seat. The planes are packed.
What intel do you have?
I got intel. I got sources. Don't ask
What
me.
intel do you have?
Next, British Airways.
I'll tell the people we got on a plane. But not recently, like a couple of days, like a week ago. When I got my hair cut, I had to go somewhere.
You're so dumb. I can't. Okay.
It's fine. I wore a mask.
British Airways.
Wipe down the seat.
British Airways is also struggling, and to kind of help itself, it's planning to auction off art worth millions. I mean, it's literally taking the art that it has in airports and putting it up for auction.
Good. This is what they should be doing.
Do you think that because of coronavirus, a lot of these companies, no matter if you're an airline or a small business or whatever, you're going to just find multiple streams of income?
No, this is the whole problem, is the airlines, the second that the economic crisis hit, they all ran and went to the government and asked for a bailout. It's socialism. That's all that is. That is literally socialism. They found the dumbest person in the room and they begged for free money. And the government was stupid enough to give it to them. So now what we're seeing is in other countries, like British Airways over in Europe, they're saying, wait a second, we should actually try to get as much capital onto our balance sheet as possible. They look around at all the assets they own, like, we don't need this fine art that's worth millions of dollars. Why don't we sell the art so that we have cash on our balance sheet? That's what we should have forced American companies to do.
It's pretty crazy.
Well, why did the government give $5+ billion to some of these companies, right? I think it was a $50 billion bailout package, and 2/3 of it was for free. We got no equity, we got no loans, no anything out of it.
I just don't think that $1.3 million is enough to supplement anything for British Airways.
Agreed, but it's the principle of the fact that they should be forced to do everything that they can to put cash in their balance sheet before they get money from a government.
Okay, fair.
Fair?
Yeah.
Is there nice art?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Okay, so
Space Force?
This is great. So Netflix created this show called Space Force. It's a Netflix original comedy, and it's based on the new branch of the military that Trump created. And now Netflix has obtained the trademark rights for the name before the government. I mean, this is great.
But can the government not use the name now?
I think they have to pay Netflix, right?
The show secured trademark rights to Space Force in multiple places, including Europe, Australia, and Mexico, while the Air Force owns only a pending application for registration in the United States. So really what this means, though, is the U.S. military has the trademark for Space Force in the U.S., or it's a pending application.
It's pending.
Netflix didn't get it in the U.S., but they got the trademark in other countries.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? Like, are they going to have to change the name of a military branch because of Netflix?
That would be amazing.
Who's more powerful, the U.S. military or Netflix?
Netflix.
What do you think also, you are if you're a general and you're like, fucking Netflix has this trademark?
Well, you better be smart. Space Force is Netflix's billionth show.
1 billionth that they've created, or that they have on their platform?
I think it's that they have on their
platform. Yeah. I mean, by the way, the fact that we have a Space Force is, one, was comical at first, but two, if you actually see what they're doing, like they're like super legit. They got like uniforms, they got badges, they've got technology, like they're going all out on this thing. And my question to you is, do you think that the Space Force will have more or less funding than the U.S. Navy in 20 years? Who gets more funding?
It depends who's president.
Why?
I mean, can't the next president just shut it down?
They could, but do you think that it's going to be more important to defend space and have military capabilities in space or over land?
I think still over land.
Really? Or really it's over water, but yeah.
Whatever.
The whole idea though is I feel like most of the wars being fought here on Earth are moving towards cyber wars. Like China is a great example. We're going to have a war where we infiltrate China or China infiltrates the United States. It's going to be all fought economically, cyber warfare, like that type of stuff. And so maybe there's like threat of force with the Navy, but the odds that the U.S. Navy is going to actually engage in violent combat with China is like near zero.
So why don't do we have a cyber force?
Well, we're very good. Our cyber capabilities are the best in the world. We're so great, we don't need any more capabilities. That's what we claim. I mean, you could argue that North Korea has some of the best cyber capabilities in the world. They've been hacking banks and all kinds of places.
Sony.
Yeah, they hacked Sony. I mean, that's how they're funding their country still, right? It's all through cyber war for the most part. Like if you look at the estimations of North Korea's revenue sources, it's like majority of it comes through cybercrime. Right. And that's how they fund all their operations.
That's really interesting. Well, maybe we should have a cyber force instead of a space force. I don't care about the aliens yet.
If the aliens come here, we're screwed.
I know, but we're always going to be screwed. We have no idea what the aliens would bring or look like.
Yeah, but it just sounds good. Like we can just tell them like, hey, we have a we have a space force. Like we can shoot our lasers and
that's dumb.
Protect ourselves. You don't like that?
I think if the aliens come, we're just screwed.
All right, surprise. I have a question for you.
Oh, God.
To end on a Friday. What's one thing you learned this week that you didn't know before the week started?
Oh, God, I forgot what we talked about this week. Give me some topics.
No, what's one thing you learned this week? Doesn't have to be from Lunch Money.
I was going to say I learned that you can't count to 80. But another thing. Oh, okay. I learned that Elon Musk's sister has something that she founded called Passion Flix, which is like a Netflix for romance novels.
So like Nicholas Sparks movies?
I think like a little more raunchy.
Oh, it's like like porn.
No, like less raunchy. I'll
like
tell you
softcore porn?
No.
Oh, you'll tell me later?
Yeah,
I mean, this is just family here with the Lunch Money crew. Like, why don't you just tell us all?
They know what I'm talking about. Just look up Passion Flix. Like what?
Sounds like either porn or not.
What did you learn?
I learned a lot actually this week. I would probably say that my biggest lesson learned though was
that I'm perfect.
I already knew that. It's not Turing, it's the fourth turning. The N is really important in there. People got very upset when I didn't use the N.
Also, I have one thing for you to learn. It's not egg specially, it's especially.
You're not going to correct my English. Oh. If I want, that's the beauty of being an American is you could be ignorant and just talk however you want to talk. You ever heard somebody from the South talk? That's not even English. That's like a whole other language, right? You ever heard a New Yorker talk? Is that English? I don't know. We just have our own little dialects.
Okay. Where are you from?
Especially because I'm from Florida.
Drives me crazy. Okay. Let's move on.
Y'all ever heard of Macon, North Carolina? All right, Lunch Money time. Here's the deal. A bunch of you have been complaining. We hear your complaints that you don't have Twitter accounts. So $100 we're giving away on Friday because it's Lunch Money time. And so if you want to be entered to win the $100, you have to go and sign up for the email list. It is the top pinned comment in the comment section. Go click on the link, put in your email. When you put your email in, all you're going to do is every day you're going to get us to email you the episode of Lunch Money so you don't miss it. But one of you who signs up on the email list this week, we will email you. We'll send you $100. Wait, you can go get dinner or whatever you want to do with it.
What if you already signed up?
Then you're out. Sorry.
What?
Nope, you're screwed. Go sign up for the email list.
I don't like
one of you is going to get $100 Lunch Money. You can tell us what you're going to do with it after you get it. That's it for Lunch Money this week.
You realize people might unsubscribe just to resubscribe.
That's fine.
Okay.
Hey, if you want to be smart, go be smart. That's fine. But just so we're clear, This is, look, I got both of my, look, this one, he really doesn't want to be seen on camera, but now he's live. Now he's live.
I think he's got a lag.
All right, that's it for Lunch Money this week, guys. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Should I show him this meme?
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.